Alright. Okay, this video is going to be a little bit different than what you're probably expecting. Or I guess if you keep a watch on my channel, then you should probably expect what this is. But there's been some changes to Battle.net since the patch that came out today. And today's the 22nd, or the 21st, just so you know. It'll be the 22nd here in like an hour, but that's beside the point. And I wanted to kind of come on here and just discuss this patch, because it does kind of have an effect on what I've done thus far. First of all, as you can see, my name is different because there was a wipe. With this patch came a wipe. So I am no longer TheGreatKingChiba, it's now just King Chiba. Which is great, you know, I've got my name back. Fuck whatever prick decided to take my name. I got it this time. There's also been a change to the... I might as well go ahead and knock this one off first. There's been a change to the friends list system. It no longer uses that like identifier, that secondary username you had to make. It no longer uses that. But it's still incredibly awkward adding people to your friends list. So, yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with these friend list things, but they've got their heads so far up their ass they can see out their own mouth at this point. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, why is there no chat functionality anywhere? Why is there no chat rooms? This is Battle.net. Where the fuck are the chat rooms? Would be real helpful. And also, just why this? You know, why? I don't know. Because like when you try to add somebody, it expects you to have their email address. Why does it have to be their email address? Why can't it just be their name? Just their name. Just their fucking name. Why is that so hard? Why is it so complicated? Why? Fucking why? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And this Facebook nonsense. I'm sick of companies doing this shit. Adding in these fucking just completely pointless, superfluous fucking features like, oh, it'll tie into Twitter now. Oh, it'll tie into Facebook. You can have a little ticker on your MySpace page that'll do this, and it's just great. It'll show your score. No, fuck that. Leave it the fuck out. I'm surprised there isn't a Twitter feed on this. I'm amazed there isn't. Anyway, to get off of that whole tangent, what the fuck is this? Uh oh, okay. I never fucked with it before, so I don't even know if it was there. I never paid attention. But to get off of that subject, let me mark this off here. I already talked about that now. We'll just start at the top of the list here. I made kind of a little paper list of what I was going to talk about. They've added the ability to upload your custom maps now, and then they tie into your account and people can actually use them. I don't know how this system works yet because I haven't fucked with it, but it's it's nice that they went ahead and added the feature. I've heard it's bugged right now though. Apparently, like the editor or something doesn't have the right server location or some shit like that, so it doesn't actually upload to the right location unless you actively go and change where it's sending to, or some shit like that. Like I said, I hadn't fucked with it. I just happened to read up on that being one of the current bugs with this build. But anyway, let me mark that off. 3 versus 3 and 4 versus 4 have been added. What the fuck? Yeah, I'll start the practice league. Fuck it. I hadn't clicked that yet, but apparently I can't get to 3 versus 3 and 4 versus 4 because I haven't played any matches yet. I just got on like an hour ago to to get in and see if I'm a paladin was on and shit like that. And as you can see, they changed shit. But apparently it's there. I've heard there's some bugs with it as well, where there's a chance you'll get disconnected. You'll actually get dropped from the game as it's connecting. So, gotta kind of feel sorry for your teammates, I guess. since they're now in like a 2-on-3 or 3-on-4, you know, shit like that. They also took out the Copper League. Now, let me just state this clearly. I didn't even know there was a Copper League. I had no clue there was a fucking Copper League. I assumed Bronze was the bottom of the barrel. But it's not. Fucking Copper was the bottom of the barrel. Who the fuck actually goes into Copper? I'm still terrible, but I was uber terrible when I first started playing, and even I didn't go into the Copper League. There had to be only like 3 people there. You know, I don't know. When I first saw that the Copper League was removed, I was like, oh shit, they took out the Bronze and just named it wrong or something. So I was like, wow, they added in a new top one, but they took out the bottom Bronze. Then I was like, wait a minute, Copper? What the fuck? They took out fucking what one was Copper? Yeah, I was stunned by that. But on that same note, they added the Diamond League, which is above Platinum, obviously. I like this idea. I don't really have much more to say on it. It's, you know, I like the idea. It's cool. I first didn't like it when I thought it was that they removed the Bronze, because I was like, wow, why? Why is Silver the bottom of the barrel? That's kind of weird. But no, it was Copper they took out. They should have left Copper in and just called it like the Wood, the fucking Wood League, the Dog Shit League. But anyway, we'll move on from there. Sentry, they're fucking force field things. Apparently, you can just run those over with heavy units now. I'm assuming like Colossus, maybe siege tanks, I don't know. I'm not sure what the qualification is for heavy. But yeah, probably Ultralisks. And I'll get back to Ultralisks later. I'll get back to them assholes later, but you know, I don't know. I don't know about that one. It seems like a balancing feature. I'm not sure on it though, because that really takes away some of the functionality of the force field to begin with. I mean, it's not like the force field was overpowered. Only people that were really good generally used it. You never saw like just your average Joes pulling it out, because it takes a fair bit of micro to quickly switch to those units in the middle of a battle and pull off the force fields in a way that makes it useful. So I don't know about that one. It's an odd choice. I wouldn't have done it. I would have left them the way they was, but that's just me. Void Rays have had their range dropped from 7 to 6. I don't really think this matters. It was obviously a bit of a balancing issue. I don't think it really... Again, I don't think it matters. Because what makes Void Rays so powerful isn't their range. It's that snowball effect damage they do, where, you know, the damage goes up a couple steps while, you know, fire is maintained on a particular, you know, unit or structure. So I don't really think that's going to change the dynamic of mass Void Rays at all. Just means you'll have to get a little bit closer, but I don't think it matters. Let me mark that one off. Marines. They've had their stem and combat shield upgrades. Those have both been... Well, I guess stem would actually work for everybody. You know, it works for Marauders and shit like that, too. But back to the point. That's been lowered from 150 to 100 on, you know, resources and shit. You know, your minerals and your gas. I actually think this was a good thing. They cost a little more than they should have at the 150 range. You know, it almost made it like, you know, these are, as a whole, Marines and Marauders are a bit of an early game unit. I mean, you can use them later, but generally, if you're going for a Marauder Marine heavy build, you're really not expecting the game to go that long. Not long enough that you necessarily, you know, I don't know. There's people that do it. I'm not going to undercut the Marine Marauder build. It's a very strong build. It just doesn't have a lot of legs, in my opinion. I don't think it's... If you're going to go up against somebody that's good, I don't expect that build to have a very long life to it. You know, you really have to move on to something else. So, that it shouldn't cost much for the upgrades for that. So, let me mark that one off. The Infester. It had a couple changes made to it. It now no longer has the Infested Terran ability, but it gained a Frenzy ability, which is pretty interesting. It costs 25 energy